Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today's video is going to be all about extreme lighting. So I actually purchased an extreme lighting package, one that I put together myself for, well, filming in my garage and in places that I would say were quite extreme that most people wouldn't film in. So if we take a look at filming on YouTube, well, the number one concern for anybody who's doing any filming is having great content. Lighting is way down on the list, but I tell you what, if you have poor lighting, well, you can have the greatest content in the world, but yeah, it goes south on you real fast. So lighting is important as well, and a lot of times when you're thinking about filming, well, you have to actually be able to provide the lighting for the conditions that you're in. Like I'm in my garage here right now, I have all kinds of electrical supply, and that's fine. But many times when I'm up at my place in Northern Ontario, or if I'm just thinking about people that film in the outdoors, you're filming in the outdoors and you're in a tent, or you're at nighttime. Nighttime filming is very difficult if you don't have some lighting. So what do? Well, I put together a package here myself, and I just bought all the individual pieces, and I think this is going to work out great for me. And I am going to show you the lighting that I've been using over the last 7 years, and it's going to hasta la vista. So I took a look at this package here, and I thought this is just ideal for me because it's compact. I can take it anywhere, I can use it anywhere, and I do not need an electrical supply. So let's go over to the bench here, let's take a look. So this is the extreme lighting package that I decided to put together myself, and these are just two LED lights on a tripod. They extend roughly around 4 feet, and this is not like what you consider a professional grade lighting package, because in reality, this whole thing all together cost me $75. Depending on where you live, might be more, might be less. But we'll start off right here. I bought a couple of extensions, and these are USB to USB because this is not running off of 120 volts. It's running off your USB plug. And if we take a look down here, so I plugged one into my USB plug, and this here is the off and on button, and you can see some light went on there. And I don't expect, I mean that is like super bright, but it's hard to tell. But there is a dim feature and a higher mode. So I don't know if you can see that, because I don't think you're really going to see. You might see the change in lighting, but you can see how it is going up there. I don't want to blast you with it though, right? But I mean, yeah, the lighting is awesome that you can be able to reduce the amount. And I'll just turn that one off. And I have a 10-foot extension cord for the other unit itself. And what I did like about it is it does come with the swivel ball. Now this is all plastic, but you know what? You just got to be careful with it. You don't want to be chucking it around. But it's got like a nice swivel ball on it, so you can put it in the position you want, and then tighten it down, right? And each one of the elevation levels is with a wing nut too, and it's secure. Like a lot of tripods will just have a snap, but this unit doesn't. It's got the mechanical friction type, and that's fine for me. And this here, I bought this here with it too. Now this here just goes on my DeWalt batteries, and this is the two USB ports, so I can plug both of them into if I want to. And this is the same on the other side, and you can see the light going on, right? And like, it's very difficult to show, but these are super bright, and I like the ability to be able to reduce the amount of lighting. And so when I am filming in the shop, I'll have one of these USB ports on one side of the garage, the other one on the other side of the garage, and I'll be using the electrical. But you see how handy this is here to have if you're filming in an area where you don't have an electrical supply. If you're filming outdoors at nighttime, or like a lot of people are filming inside their camper, or where you want to have some extra lighting. Well, this may just be in that zone of extreme lighting for extreme situations, And you know, you don't have to have one of these. You can buy one of the small rechargeable phone charger packs, and they're usually pretty relatively cheap as well. But since I already have the DeWalt batteries, I decided to get this, and I can run both off of this very easily. And this unit is completely portable and will run anywhere. So let's just turn the lighting around, and I'll use this lighting and show you exactly what the lighting I've been using for the last 7 years. Well, this is the exact same setup as I had before, except now I'm using the extreme lighting. And you know, these LED lights, now they do have a filter in there. The one that I'm using is a white filter, just a diffuser. And I haven't explored the other ones yet, but I'll take you off the tripod and I'll show you, well, you can see a little bit of what I've been using, right? So let's take a closer look, and let's take a look and see exactly, well, what is the difference? Well, there I've been using the umbrella. The umbrella lighting for the last, well, it's got to be 7 years. And if you take a look, yeah, they're pretty well beat up. I had to put my own kind of clip on here to hold the extension cord. I've been patching them up. They've been breaking. And, you know, when it comes down to lighting, that is pretty huge. Like, that is about 3 feet across. So they do take up a lot of room. And the only thing is, it's an off and an on switch. If you want to adjust your lighting, the only thing you can do to reduce the amount of lighting is tilt it up or tilt it down or move it further away from you. So can you imagine trying to film a lot of close-up shots with that kind of lighting while the umbrella gets in your way half the time? And let's just go over to the bench here first, and I'll just show you these diffusers. And here's all the different ones. So they give you 2 packages as well. And this is the company I bought it off of here. I just bought everything off of Amazon. And, you know, I did check before I came out here. And, you know, it said not available, not available. But, you know, this particular company itself, like, I paid $45 for these 2. And, of course, you got to put your own 10-foot extension cords on. And, you know, you have to get your USB blocks. And, you know, if you want to make it, you know, completely off the grid, you have to get some kind of power supply using USB. And but I mean, there's all kinds of different variations of these. They look exactly the same, except the brand name has changed. So let's just take a look in the corner here, and here's the other one. And you know, it's pretty beat up. And you know, so let's just take a look at one of the new ones, and we'll compare it to the old one. And I'll show you the difference. Okay, so having it on a 10-foot USB extension is really nice. And, you know, the pole is all metal on this. You know, it's not plastic. The connectors, yeah, they're all plastic, but I don't really see a problem with that because it was the same on this one here. The connectors would just snap, you know, so you could raise it or lower it. But you could see it's not that much shorter than the other one, and I really don't have a problem with that at all. And you know, if you wanted to, you could actually put an extension on this, because these lights, well, they actually just screw on to a threaded rod, and if you wanted to make an extension to go higher, you could. But you know, realistically, this folds up really low, where this one here is, by the time it's folded up, is like this. So it, you know, this one here is far superior for being compact, and you can take it anywhere. Well, the old ones are going in the garbage, and the new ones I'll be using from now on. That's what I'll be filming with. And I know a lot of people are going to think, well, could I just get one? Well, they come in a package of 2, because when you're filming, if you only have a light on one side, you're going to get shadows on the other. And you know, I don't know if you can notice it, but I notice a huge difference just by looking in the viewfinder right now, that this is so much brighter than what I had before. And you know, these lighting stands don't get in your way. They're easy to store, very compact, and you know, the lighting is just, I think, is more than enough for the average person who's filming on YouTube. Like I said in the beginning, your lighting doesn't have to be perfect, but it's got to be good enough so people can see what you're actually doing, right? And a lot of times, how do you fit a lot of this good lighting? Like, this is decent lighting that I had for the last 7 years. How do you fit this in a lot of shots? And many times when I was filming like close up, man, I had to squeeze myself in around the lighting, because the lighting inside, my shop itself, well, it's not bright enough to actually get close-up shots and show people exactly what you're doing in detail. So thanks for joining me here today. I hope you like my version of extreme lighting. And for all the channels out there, like bushcrafting channels, or people who do outdoor filming, especially low light conditions in the evening or filming at night, I think this is a great alternative, low cost. Like you say, I paid around $75 for the whole thing, all put together myself. And LED lighting with the diffuser on it, I think is great. I'm going to experiment with the different colors to see what the differences are, because I'm not a professional when it comes to lighting. I'm not a professional when it comes to filming, but I think I can do a good enough job, on YouTube, where you not think you're watching TV anymore. And that's the whole idea of watching YouTube, is you're not watching TV. So thanks again for joining me here today. If you haven't seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again and see some more interesting real reviews. Cheers.